Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about an action thriller film called In Time from 2011. Enjoy your viewing. Will lives in a world where people don't age. The human body has been modified at the level of genes so that the body develops until the age of 25 and then stops and does not age. But you have to pay for a young body. Every human being has a clock face built into their hand from birth. It indicates how many years, hours, minutes, or seconds they have left before they die. The countdown begins at the age of 25. At this age, the clock turns on, and the person has 1 year to live. Time has become a currency in the world Will lives in. Will is credited with a certain number of hours for each working day. In the time zone where Will lives, people don't have a lot of time. Usually there is no more than a day on the clock. Will lives with his mother and works at a factory that makes the devices that count time. Will's father died when he was 5 years old. He was killed because he was giving away time to the people in his neighborhood. Will lives in the ghetto, but today is his mom's birthday, so he gives her a bottle of champagne and goes to work at the factory. After work, he meets his friend and fellow drinker. At the bar, he sees Henry Hamilton. He is a rich man with a watch that is over 100 years old. Henry gives away his time to anyone he wants. Will notices that Henry is being watched by local robbers, whom everyone calls watchmen. They take people's time by force. Will tries to get Henry away, but he doesn't have time. Fortis comes with his gang. Henry asks to go to the bathroom. Will drags him out of there. They hide from the guards in an abandoned factory building. After talking to Henry, Will realizes that he is terribly tired of his endless life. He is thinking of committing suicide, giving all his time to another person. Will and Henry decide to spend the night at the factory. In the morning, while Will is sleeping, Henry gives him almost all of his time, and he goes to meet the dawn on the bridge. When his time is up, Henry dies. Will wants to save him, but he doesn't have time. Having been given more than 100 years of life, Will goes to Boral. His friend has a wife and a small child. Will tells him everything and then gives him 10 years. After that, he immediately goes to a bar. Will's mom is going home after work. The bus ride has risen in price to 2 hours, and she has only an hour and a half left. The driver does not give in to persuasion to lend her money, and then suggests that she run home so as not to waste time. Will meets his mother at the bus stop when the bus arrives without her. He runs to meet her, but Will doesn't have time to give his mother some of his time. She dies in his arms. Meanwhile, the guards and Raymond Leon fish Henry's body out of the water. Raymond has worked for the police for over 50 years. He knew Will's father. Raymond quickly realizes that Henry has been robbed, and the robber must be found on the surveillance footage. Will is going to the temporary zone of the rich. He intends to destroy their entire system and avenge his mother's death. Henry Hamilton told Will that the rich have enough time in their accounts to last everyone for the rest of their lives. Will checked into a nice hotel, having spent several years of his life out of the time Henry gave him. When he checked in, he was noticed by Sylvia. She is the daughter of the temporary tycoon Philip Weiss. The girl watched Will during lunch, noting his unlikability to other rich people. Will used to be a good poker player. He arrives at the casino and wins against Philip Weiss. After the game, Philip introduces Will to his daughter Sylvia. With the time he wins, Will buys a sports convertible. He drives it to the Weiss estate. Here he is introduced to the whole family, but he is only interested in Sylvia. The girl admits that it is difficult for her to live in this world, that she is constantly surrounded by guards, and she wants freedom and adventure. Will immediately offers her to swim naked in the sea. While they are bathing, the timekeepers arrive at the Weiss house. When Will and Sylvia return, the timekeepers arrest Will and take all his time, leaving him only a few hours to complete the paperwork. They don't believe that Henry Hamilton gave his time away. Will escapes from the guards, taking Sylvia hostage. Raymond chases after them, but Will escapes from the chase. Arriving in his neighborhood, he gets into an accident. While Will and Sylvia are lying unconscious, Fortis and his gang appear. He almost resets Sylvia's meter, but doesn't have time to rob Will. Police sirens are heard in the distance, and Fortis runs away. When Will and Sylvia regain consciousness, they find that they have almost no time left. They try to borrow it from Boral, but find out that he had gone to a bar and drunk himself to death. The woman grieves after her husband's death, blames Will for everything, and drives him away. Will then takes Sylvia's earrings to a pawn shop. After receiving a reward for them, they have a few days left on the counter. At gunpoint, Will forces Sylvia to call her father. He demands that Philip transfer the 1,000 years to a charitable organization by the next morning, and then he will release the girl. Meanwhile, Will and Sylvia go to his apartment. They have a long conversation and become even closer. Morning comes, but the time for the benefactors has not arrived. Will convinces Sylvia to call her father to get her out of the ghetto, but Raymond, who had been following the call from yesterday, shows up. He pulls a gun on Will. Sylvia sees this and shoots the timekeeper. She just wanted to scare him, but she hit him in the shoulder. Will shares time with Raymond so that he can get to his men, and then steals his car with Sylvia. The two then stop a rich lady's car on the highway and rob it. Will and Sylvia are put on the wanted list. On television, they are said to be acting in concert. Will teaches Sylvia how to shoot a gun, and then they rob a time bank. They distribute the loot to the ghetto residents. The timekeepers track the couple to a cheap hotel, but Will notices police sirens in time, and he and Sylvia escape. Raymond chases after them. He almost catches up with them, but a random bus saves Sylvia and Will. This time, the fugitives decide not to take any chances. They check into another hotel. Only this time they buy up all the rooms so that no one can see them. However, right after them, another guest wants to check in. He notices them while talking to the receptionist. The guards stop a group of locals at the fence, including a man who saw Will and Sylvia. Fortis wants to find the couple to punish them for the robbery on his property. Because of Will, too many timekeepers have come to the neighborhood, and Fortis and his gang can no longer rob people so easily. The man who spotted the fugitives tells Fortis where he saw the fugitives at night. The guards break into Will and Sylvia's room. Fortis explains to Will the reason for his dissatisfaction, and then offers to fight in a time wrestling match. It's when two people try to steal each other's time. Will agrees. He used to be good at this game. Will almost lets Fortis win, and then takes all of his time for himself. Fortis dies, and before his accomplices can recover from the shock, Will kills them all with a pistol hidden under his pant leg. He and Sylvia escape again. The bodies are found in the hotel by the timekeepers, led by Raymond. Will realizes that everything they did was for nothing. They give away time to people, and banks raise interest rates on loans to get that time back. Sylvia persuades him to keep doing it, but Will says they need at least 1,000,000 years to crack the system. Sylvia knows where to get them. The girl returns to her father surrounded by a crowd of guards. While she is talking to Philip, Will sneaks up on him. At gunpoint, they take Philip to his apartment and break into the safe. Inside is a device with 1,000,000 years on the counter. Will and Sylvia take him and flee to the ghetto. The timekeepers see changes in the map of time zones due to the theft of 1,000,000 years. They try to stop the fugitives on the way to the ghetto, but they fail. Will and Sylvia break into their own time zone. Raymond chases after them, but he is already running out of time. At the most crucial moment of the chase, Raymond did not have time to get his daily pay. Once back in his time zone, Will gives the device to a girl he knows to donate to a charity. The girl does so, and the benefactor begins to give away time to passers-by. Raymond catches up with Will and Sylvia, but they manage to escape in the confusion. The timekeeper rides toward them. He stops them again, but he has a few seconds left. They expire, and Raymond dies. Will and Sylvia's time is also running out. Will realizes that he can get the guard's daily time and runs as fast as he can to the car. Sylvia runs after him. Will arrives first. He takes the time and rushes to Sylvia to give her half of it. Will makes it, and at the last moment he saves the girl. The ghetto residents have a lot of time. They cross the time zones and go to the rich neighborhoods. The remaining timekeepers realize that in this chaos their service is losing all meaning, and they have to disband. Will and Sylvia are not going to rest on their laurels. They decide to finish the system. The two come to rob a new bank to give time to those in need. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klontsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.